Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of our Irby Derby campaign. Today we're going to be doing a two-skull base defense against the local pirate organization, working again for the House Merrick Real World League. So, the enemy vanguard has dropped in, and right now I can see only two very light mechs, which is a little bit concerning because I took this for 4 salvage. Oh hey, there's 2 more. Blackjack. Oh, is that a primitive blackjack? That is. And Shadowhawk. Well, very well. I've taken this mission for 419 salvage, so 4 of our choice, 19 random, and I want something good out of it. I want, the 55-ton mech, I want a 70-ton mech, I want the pieces to something worthwhile, because while we have been taking a lot of money, and we did use that to purchase Trashcan's new Marauder, I think there's something thematic about salvaging and bringing to the battlefield something that you have had to fight, which is what I would ordinarily like to do. Now, as our allies, we have something a little bit unusual, generally on these base defense missions, and what I was expecting would be, some sort of light vehicle lance, but we actually have a lance full of just mechs to back us up. So we have the 70-ton Avatar, we have a 50-ton Blackjack Omni-Mech, we have the 50-ton Huron Warrior, Gauss Rifle of all things, and a 60-ton Yeoman, although this is slightly damaged. I say slightly because ordinarily while this thing does carry 4 Streak SRM4s and double Snub-Nose PPC, only 2 of the Streak SRM4s are offline, so most of its armament is still very much online, and geez, doing our job for us. One shot goes in from the Yeoman, and already that Wasp 1A is knocked down, so I almost wish we could friendly fire that Yeoman and get some salvage from him, because it's better than anything else for us on the battlefield right now. So we are just reserving down at the moment, because I want those 2 mechs over on the right to come a little bit closer, but it doesn't look like we'll be able to get that, so let's get Edmund up in the air in his Ruby Lamb, and let's see, can I get a shot? Barely? Yeah, it's not really a great use of, you know what, let's just go over here and pop down a sensor lock. Do apologize, got a bit of a frog in my throat. Alright, so we're going to sensor lock the, well, could lock the Wasp, but there's no evasion on him. There are 2 pips on the Hornet, so let's go ahead and get rid of those, and maybe our Yeoman friend can do some good taking that mech down. A lot of return fire going in against the Yeoman, and almost 20% of his armor gone from that Blackjack 1PA. Might be a primitive mech, but it doesn't mean that it can't bring some firepower to the table. Alright. I think we don't yet have these guys on sensors. No, it's just long range penalties. Well, let's see if we can finish off the Wasp. We'll have to get lucky on one of the PPC shots, and we don't. So neither one of those landing. Okay. This is why ER PPCs are so popular. They, well, improve your accuracy just by expanding the range brackets on regular PPCs, so that you're in a more comfortable range. And don't take those penalties. Being too far away. Speaking of, our SRM6s are not going to be anywhere close to the proper range for this, but because they're standards, not streaks, we might still be able to land a single missile or 2, which could be enough. I'm turning off the medium lasers just so we avoid getting a little bit of heat from such a bad shot. But yeah, we do land 1 SRM. Not enough to get anything done, but yeah, it's worth a try. And finally now we have El Buche in the UMR-90. This is the Clan Tech modified one. And as I've said before, as soon as we find something to replace it, I more than likely will. Just so I can move those ER mediums and medium pulses over, probably to the Marauder. Alright, well the Wasp is down. That's not too bad for our first round. And nice help from our ally as well. It's always a little bit handy. And let's see, let's move up. I want a shot on the Shadowhawk. And the Hermes 2 does have that light tag still. It's only a +1, but every little bit does count. We actually land a large laser on the Omni Blackjack, or sorry, the primitive Blackjack back there. Just accidental fire. Missed our intended target, but hey, hitting anything's better than hitting nothing. So the Irby Lamb's going to move up behind the Hornet, because our pilot allows us to move at 10 instead of 8, and the Hornet's moving at 9. Right torso, right arm destroyed. I was hoping for a leg, so we could slow that Hornet down, but he is going to have a chance to move, and his evasion very well might save him for a little bit. Anyway, so Hornet moving up. I think the UMR-90 is going to go after him. Those medium pulses are very good at ignoring evasion pips, and I think they do ignore 2 or 3. Yeoman has structure exposed, which is very much not what I had been hoping for this early on, especially with the amount of firepower that we can bring to the table. And let's just go after the Hornet. He's already moved. Oh wow, wait, a little bit toasty. I'm going to turn off both the ER medium lasers. And we still do get a mech kill. Very nice, putting those pulses on target. So with any luck, we might be able to crush the Vanguard before enemy reinforcements show up. And potentially even win this mission from killing the enemy instead of just timing out. So that primitive blackjack has moved up, and I think that is going to have been his mistake, because now we have wonderful accuracy on him. Of course we missed 2 80% chances. I do love the odds on this game sometimes. I feel like I just can't quite get them to work for me. Shadowhawk hopping up toward us, but firing still at the Yeoman. Bit of a questionable choice there. And let's see. Yeah, no, I can't get anything online with the Dervish. I'm actually going to keep him in close base because odds are that the enemy reinforcements are not going to come from the same direction as their Vanguard, which means that if I send him out to finish off a mostly dead Vanguard, we'll be wasting a good bit of his mobility, potentially. Alright, let's come around this way. No shot with the Marauder either, just because of the very unfortunate terrain here. Should have probably used a sensor lock. Kind of forgot the trash can has it. Just because I've gotten so used to firing that Marauder's guns. Bit of a mistake on my part. Let's see. No rear shot available on the Shadowhawk, but I can get a nice side shot. Or we can go for a rear shot on the Blackjack. Let's take a look at his rear armor. 30-55 on side torsos, 45-70 on the rear torso. I think let's go in after the Shadowhawk. I think that's a better use of this firepower. Use everything we can to take this guy offline, and then collapse down on the Blackjack when we're done. So, El Duce. Come up here and do the same thing. Since we did cool off a little bit in the last turn, we should be able to open up with an Alpha Strike on this turn. Pretty good accuracy all around. And we've missed one 92% chance, but we do get the right leg down, so that Shadowhawk is going to be moving on priority 5 instead of 6. And might take a pilot injury? No pilot injury. Good for the enemy pilot's cut score. And that Yeoman really needs to learn how to move, otherwise they are going to bore through that exposed structure, which is right in the CT, so we could very well lose our first ally here relatively soon. Which would be a little bit unfortunate. It's not exactly what you want to have happen so early in a mission like this. We could go for the other leg, or we could go right for the CT. The leg has less armor and less structure, but we're also less likely to hit it. Let's go for it though. I did say I want some good salvage from this. We'll get better salvage by taking him out from the legging than pouring through the CT. And the allied turrets are online, so now there's kind of no telling what's going to happen. I haven't taken a look at what the turrets are, but I guess we'll see in just a second. Ones that don't have good fire ranges tend to have available sensor locks. Gauss rifle going in on the Shadowhawk, probably hitting the CT there. Ammunition explosion, and that mech is gone. Only one salvageable part, and that's too bad. Putting a Shadowhawk on our team would be, I think, probably a good use of time, to be honest. So, trash can moving up in the Marauder 3R, and burning a little bit hot with the double PPC, double medium laser. It's why I try to avoid lunar biomes generally. I like energy builds, particularly in the beginning, and without double heat sinks, we don't really have the ability to use them without risking, well, running the red line a little bit. Yeoman doing, well, yeoman's work up there, and the Avatar now following up. Yeah, our allies can dish out more damage than we can. Pilot hit, but no injury, just a consciousness check.
I've got eyes on hostile reinforcements. They're heading your way.
And here come the enemy reinforcements. Let's see. Yeah, as I suspected. very much a different angle than the initial enemy vanguard, so we need to finish off this blackjack and get a move on. Try and handle those reinforcements. The Derby Lamb's just going to be flanking the damaged side of the blackjack, and if we can unload here with streaks, we might be able to get something good. Precision strike to slow them down and moving on priority 6. And no kill. Quite a lot of structure exposed. We did bore right into a CT. Okay, so now we have a bit of a problem. So, you know what? Let's just wait for a minute with those guys. I want to see if the blackjack moves up, maybe we can get a good shot there. And unknown mech approaching to our southeast. That's okay. Let's see what the turrets have to say about this. And our own blackjack. Which is an upgraded version. The blackjack Omni is much more deadly than the BJ1PA. That is a knockdown. Very nice. And pilot's bleeding out, but 3 activations remaining. The AI will still target him more than likely, especially now that he's been knocked over. And they should have very excellent chances to hit on that guy. And yep, Huron Warrior's going in, Gauss Rifle. Engine crit. Oof. I should just title this video "Watching the AI Go to Work," because I don't really think I need to do much. I think this base could probably have defended itself. Primitive Icarus. Don't recognize that mech. Very light armor, though. Not going to work out well for it. The internal structure looks like it's about online for a heavy mech, but I could be mistaken. A little bit hard to tell. All I know is this thing has paper-thin armor. Everywhere it's been hit is just right through. Of course, it is taking binary laser shots from these turrets. Improved binary laser. Double improved binary laser. Jeez, that is very deadly. This is probably the most competent base defense AI I think I've ever seen. Well, at least it is up to this point. So let's see. 2 unknown mechs. It's not telling me their tonnage. I will be disappointed if it's anything less than 55. One of the downsides, so in the base game, it's relatively easy to complete mech chassis because there are so few of them. But in BTA 3062, which is the mod that we're playing, there are so many mech chassis that oftentimes you can go 3, 4, 5 missions between seeing the same enemy mech. That's why on missions that do have 4 salvage available, I tend to take it. Because if you can get most of a chassis in one go, you only have to get a little bit lucky once, as opposed to, you know, getting a couple pieces on 3 different missions from the same mech, which could take you 5, 6, 7 different drops. That's if you're lucky. Generally, the way that I've found this works is you go a long time without being able to build anything, really, that you salvage. And then, toward the end of the game, all of a sudden you can build everything at once because you've slowly collected pieces from all of these different mech chassis over the course of your entire career. But, you know, by that time, you want to be fighting 4 skull, 5 skull missions, and you don't really want to be building a 55-ton medium mech for that you just so happen to get from the random salvage you've accumulated up to that point. And so that is why I tend to favor money a little bit in the early game and just buying a mech, because it would have taken me absolutely forever to get a Marauder, and that's even if I was able to kill one on the battlefield, which is less than certain. Well, probably certain right now because we have our own, but before then, definitely would have been a really big gamble. So there is a Hatchet Man over here, which I would like to get my hands on, and still one more unknown. The Hatchet Man, Rock'em Sock'em Robots is not exactly an elegant way to win this game, but particularly in the early to mid game, it can be quite effective. And Hatchet Mans can be wonderful too. We had one in the last campaign that did really wonderful things. Put an Ultra AC-20 on it and basically alternated between hitting people and unloading 200 damage in 2 single shells. Very, very effective, if I do say so myself. And I think our turrets, yep, just took down the Primitive Icarus. Hopefully we can get some salvage from that. Okay, only one. Well, it's a 40-ton mech anyway, it's not exactly what we're looking for. And let's see, what's this? Ooh, I would love to pick up an Enforcer. I ran an Enforcer a long time ago, and you can do some wonderful things with it. Although I don't recognize the 4AS variant, so I'm not sure what hardpoints that thing will have. Double ER large laser AC-10. Oh, it's a competent build. Yeah, it's a very competent build. Alright. I can get up to 6 evasion pips, but not exactly great accuracy. We're just going to leave the dervish there for right now. I want a sensor lock on those guys before I do anything. Could get the marauder over... Oh, which way? Yeah, let's go over here. We'll use him to improve the dervish's accuracy. Go ahead and get a sensor lock on the hatchet man. And they do have an elevated position, which I do hope to change, but let's see what we can do about that. Dervish coming up into the woods. And, okay, base accuracy, still not great. Why is that? Do I not have you on sensors? No idea, it's just long range. Okay. Well, let's do a precision strike. Gets us up into the 40s, that's not terrible. Turn off the SRM-4. Running a little bit hot here, especially for the accuracy, but we do need to start landing some damage on this guy. One medium laser hits, and oh, we do tap him in the cockpit as well. So, another consciousness check, but no pilot injury. Still, that can make a follow-up head hit that much more effective. Hermes 2 is going to move over to the other side of the battlefield. I only see one mech over there, but I'd be a little bit surprised given the support that they gave us with the AI here. If it was only 2 on either side, it should be a full lance. Well, we can hope, anyway. Alright. Who's left? That would be the Avatar. I would love to field an Avatar. You can put rotary autocannons on those guys and just go to town. It's pretty amazing. Double rotary AC-5 is just oof. Of course you'll overheat like crazy, but it's the price you pay for that sort of build. We're gonna let them come a little bit closer first, I think. Let's see what we can do. Oh yeah, okay, so there's more Op 4 over this way. Unknown mech. Okay, good. So odd numbers, probably not that likely, so we can see 5, but there's probably either 6 or 8 actually on the field. Well, including the dead Icarus. Let's just wait for them to come to us. Apologies for the loading times here. Sometimes they are still a little bit high, even though I did improve my computer a little bit, and that does seem to be helping. Excavator mech. Is that an aggro mech? Yeah, I'm not fielding an aggro mech. This thing shouldn't really be. I mean, double RL-20, yeah, but once those are, I mean, it's probably just going to alpha strike one of the binary laser turrets, and then, well, there goes all of his firepower. One single alpha strike. Double excavator mech. Okay, well at least now we have sizable amounts of Op 4. It's probably 8. 4 on either side. Excavator mech's arm is exposed. That's pretty good. Digger claw. The thing's kind of like a hatchet. It's an improved melee weapon, so it's not something that we want to really get in range of. And the heat on the dervish is going to be a bit of an issue. Let's see. Binary laser turrets doing good work. Right arm destroyed. I would love to get my hands on an improved binary laser. The second I can do that, that's going on. At least one mech. It looks like it has a double fire mode as well, which is kind of cool. Rolling twice to hit with the binary laser's improved accuracy would be very nice. Assuming it still has the standard binary laser's improved accuracy, I'm not entirely sure. And okay, this now does feel like a 2-skull instead of something that the AI can do for us. Our turrets are getting overwhelmed, which means that if we don't do the rescue soon, we will have some trouble. And that is a Centurion CN-9D, not the most phenomenal mech, but certainly very capable. Generally I try to build them out almost like you see a standard Dragon loadout, and you can get some good work done there. Turns out I can't actually run up that way. I'd have to go all the way around. That would take far too long. Where can I get... Okay, there's a side shot. Yeah, the dervish is struggling a little bit on this mission. Oh wow. I can't shoot, because if I shoot, anything will overheat. So we just have to brace. That's really unfortunate. It's from all those Inferno SRMs and being on fire. Hatchet Man is doing a wonderful job disabling us. Yeoman going in, does land a PPC shot. Okay, better than nothing. And how many evasion pips? 3 evasion pips. What's my accuracy going to be like? The standard move? Let's see. Yeah, that's just crap accuracy. Is it because of the height difference? What's causing us to have this much trouble? Even in the last mission, we were doing a lot better than that. Target move, height difference +3. Yeah, and size delta +2, because, well, he's a 45-ton mech, and we're a 75-ton Marauder. It does make it more fair for light mechs, have that a little bit extra survivability, but we did get rid of his evasion. That's going to be pretty nice, and I think the solution to this guy is going to be charging over with the Irby Lamb, although it probably should have done a sensor lock with Edmund. I was hoping I'd have better accuracy on the streaks, but I consistently overestimate this guy's mobility sometimes. On some maps it seems just absolutely gigantic, but then you have a map that's spread out like this, and, well, can certainly remind you that you're dealing with still some limited availability, some limited mobility. I'm gonna move up here with the easy for me to say, Urban Mech UMR 90, saving that precision strike still. Not really the best move. I should have done a Vigilance beforehand because we would have gotten the Precision Strike back now, but that's not true if I was to use it now. I would need it probably next turn and the turn after. We have a good shot in the Enforcer, but the Excavator mech is closer, and those RL-20s would do devilish things if we go online. Hopefully we can take them out. No. We do get some damage, though. And the Excavator mech is moving after our binary laser turrets, hopefully. Unless that was reserved down, it's a little bit hard to tell. Okay, Hatchet Man taking some good fire, right arm destroyed. Alright, that should be a knockdown as well. Yep. And he's toppling. Good, good. So, we have 7 mechs left to get through, but one of them is finally taking a bit of heat. Hatchet Man's also seen better days. I don't want a rear facing, so let's go up here like this. The Irby Lamb. Now we could fire in the Centurion, but 4 evasion pips is nothing to sneeze at. And I want this Hatchet Man dead first. Might not be able to do it. Yeah, okay. So this is the problem with the Irby Lamb. As we get into heavier opposition, he's not going to be able to take things out with a single volley anymore. Maybe with a rear strike, but even then it might take 2 shots to do it, which means we need some better tech on him, because if we can get... What we really need is we need clan SRM-6s to save weight, right? Because those streak SRM-4s are relatively heavy for the amount of firepower they bring to the table. Let's run up into the way of this Excavator mech, hopefully draw some fire from our turrets. 6 evasion should be able to handle the rocket launcher launch if the Excavator mech can get it off, which he probably will be able to. Oop, here comes our turrets. Right leg destroyed, pilot bleeding out. So that mech is... Oh, wow, pilot eject. That mech is gone. Good. Good, good. I didn't think the pirates would bring urban... Well, not urban mechs. Aggro mechs. They usually bring Franken mechs, so things that are built off of weird chassis, things like that. But it's like the Corsair, infamous pirate mech in the game. Complete Franken mech. Okay, let's see if we can finish off the Hatchet Man. Out. Burning up. SRM-6s are going to try to crit seek into his torso. And we do get that mech killed. Good. Good, good, good. So, we've got 2 left on the right-hand side, 3 left on this side, including the Centurion, and... Let's see... Oh, a Bombard. Very nice. AC-20. Unknown 50-ton mech. Well, looks like some worthwhile salvage out of this. Although I do hope I can get most of something. I want... It's the reason why it's a bit tricky to mech loadouts for this sort of thing. You want the pilot to panic out before you break anything, if you want 5 potential salvage parts, which for us now it does take 5 pieces to build a mech. So there are some ways of doing that. You can use excessive flamers, you can use plasma rifles, but we don't have any of that tech right now, so it's not really an option. How else do you get something to panic out? Well, you have to hope that you have enough damage scattering that you damage everything without ripping off pieces before the pilot panics so much he goes, yeah, nope, I'm out. But that's actually pretty rare. Most of the punch-outs that I've seen lately, and especially as we do go up in mission difficulty where the enemy pilots will get that much more skilled, is after a leg or an arm, or usually after a leg, an arm, and a knockdown, if not something more extreme. Now we have lost 2 turrets, including one of the binary laser turrets. and that certainly will slow us down just a little bit. But so far, all of our buildings are okay. It does look like that hunchback there is trying to change that. And even though, so there are 6 buildings, usually when there's 6 or 8 buildings, 3 or 4 have to survive. But we have to have 5 survive, so we can only lose 1 building before we risk losing the mission. And I do want the extra pay from losing no buildings at all. Trashcan's Marauder is just horribly positioned. It's entirely my fault. But let's try and open up double PPC. Hopefully we get lucky. Yeah, 1 shot to the leg. Good, good. So that got unsteady, but he didn't have any evasion to begin with. And the Yeoman looks like he's slightly out of range. It's a little bit less than ideal. Avatar needs to cool down, or he's going to be turning himself into dead mech through ammunition explosion. Okay, let's see what we can do. Let's take a look. So the Bombard, very light rear armor. Hunchback is even lighter. Centurion, decently armored. It's not a Griffin, so it doesn't have Griffin Rugged. I want those AC-20s offline, but I don't want to risk taking them with the Urban Mech in this round. So what we're going to do is we're going to delay down until that Bombard moves forward, and then we'll hit him with the Irby Lamb, hit him with the Irby Lamb again. Well, no, that's not a good idea, because... oh, I can't get a rear shot on him right now. Yeah. Alright. Well, let's just wait a little bit, see what we can do. I also need to bring the Dervish back around. I assumed that they'd be coming through this way, not over the ridge, so the Dervish is out of position as well. That's why I moved the Marauder where I did. Well, sometimes mistakes get made. A little bit of long-range fire coming in from our allied Blackjack Omni-Mech. Hitting the Enforcer. Okay, that works for me. So he misses our Urban Mech, but tags one of the buildings. So, good, but not the perfect thing that could have happened there. Still no evasion on that Enforcer. I'm kind of impressed. He must be moving 1 tile too few every single time. Okay, let's get the Hermes 2 up here. May as well take the rear shot. See if we can get the light tag on that guy. Oh, I shot at the wrong mech. Well, dang now. Both of his rocket launchers are out of commission from previous pre-combat damage. So the way that works is, particularly on earlier, higher, lighter skull missions, so anything 0.5 to 2, 2.5, the AI will roll for previous battle damage. It's basically, especially with pirate factions, basically the idea that these mechs aren't exactly being maintained in a pristine mech bay. So they're going in, but you know, some of their weapons are offline, some of their armor's damaged, some of their internal structure might be less than perfect, things like that, which is very thematic and also is a nice way of giving you heavier mech targets to deal with without having them necessarily be overwhelming right off the bat. So do land some very good damage on that Enforcer. Let's see if the turrets can follow it up. Oh hey, look at that, 5 salvageable parts on the Enforcer. We can only choose 4. So we're going to have to choose 4 of those, and then hope that we get the extra one with the random, which I've seen it happen, I've seen it miss. Fingers crossed. But we might be able to get an Enforcer out of this fight, which would be very handy indeed. Centurion coming in, shooting in binary laser turret. Does miss its autocannon, which is a very nice saving grace. I think that's probably an AC-10. Yeah, LBX AC-10. Kind of surprised he missed with that, to be honest. Let's get the Dervish on the move. We're going to come up and around. Might be a little bit slow to do that, but we're going to give it a try. It's our quickest way of getting him back into combat. And, wow, yeah, I need to get some of those improved binary lasers. They're just doing amazing things. I mean, look at that. Bored right through the structure on that Centurion's left leg, and very heavily damaged the left torso there. Okay, now this is a risk. We have a couple of small military buildings in here, and they don't have much health at all, which would make them a very easy kill for our opponents. Which would mean that I earn less money off this. I don't want to earn less money off this. I want to earn more money off of this. Okay, I'm not entirely sure I can get a rear shot on Bombard, but we need those AC-20s offline anyway. Let's see what we can do. Yep, this is side strike. We could go in for a rear strike at the Hunchback. Might be a better idea. Not perfect accuracy, I'm too far away for the ER smalls. But if we can land, no, not quite enough. Okay, well that happens sometimes. Where is a good position? Move to. Okay, here I have a shot. It's a risky shot, so we'll just have to come around. Put these two in at the excavator mech. Yeah, we landed both. 33% chances to hit in each. Not bad. Not bad at all. And we have pretty solidly crushed that right side flank, although most of it was because of our allied support. Which means that the main danger right now is giving these guys even one or two more turns will allow them to really close the gap. Far more than we can deal with. So let's see, moving on 8. I don't really know. Okay, well, let's move on 7. Get the Hermes around the rear of that excavator mech. Precision strike to kill him. If I can take him offline, then our allies will focus on the only Op 4 remaining. That's my hope here, although decently heavy rear armor. Kind of impressive. Still, structure exposed. Okay, very nice. And what's damaged on... You know what we're going to do? We're going to run up here with the UMR-90. And I'm not going to be able to alpha strike because that'd be a little bit over the red line. But I'm going to try and take out that Centurion's leg. So, okay, we can fire 3 out of 4. 1 hit on the leg. Actuator destroyed, but that leg is still, unfortunately, just fine. Okay, well, we had to try for it. You know what else we could do, though? Yeah, this is a good use of time, I think. 6 evasion pips is a little bit scary, should the bombard open up with that double AC-20, but I want to see if we can take this Centurion down. So, yep, okay, left leg destroyed. Very nice. Apologies, I think I'd call that as damaged right leg, but nope, left leg. It's a little bit tricky sometimes. You see the ooh, pallet bleeding out. Very nice. When you see the mech diagram. Oh, jeez. Pilot did not have time to bleed out. Dang. 3 salvageable parts off the Centurion. Hopefully we can get some of those if we're lucky as well. Centurions are pretty common, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see one relatively often. It'd be nice to feel the Centurion's classic mech design right there. And the Dervish. Yeah, still a little too far away. Next turn we should be able to close with him. At least a little bit. Yeah, should be able to. We can probably bring him online against the Bombard next turn. Okay. So far, so not terrible. That's the shot that I'd wanted to move to the other side of the field, but we do have more damage on the excavator mech. Alright. Yeah, it's better than the AI missing, right? And they... oh, jeez. Both AC-20 shells going after the Irby Lamb, and both missing. Either one of those would have ripped right through whatever hit location it made contact with. Okay. So if we take a look... oh, come on. Oh, shoot. Melee attack going in on the Hermes 2. Structure exposed, arm lost. Wow, okay. I guess, don't get close to a punch bot and think that nothing bad will happen. We lost our large laser and our light tag, so we will have to do some mech repairs. But, well, that's okay. If we can get a new chassis out of this, then we can survive that. So, let's move up the Marauder and open up the precision strike on the Hunchback here. A little bit of wasted damage into his rear arc, but I didn't know that at the time. And that's a lot of good heavy damage there. So we do get rid of his evasion pips. PPCs deal stability damage, although the regular medium lasers do not. And okay, that's our moving up. No direct line of sight though, so only those indirect fire LRMs. Better than nothing. Better than nothing. It's kind of the mantra that you have to deal with when expecting help from the computer. Is, could it have gone worse? Yes? Okay, well then it went well. And we need to get the Hermes 2 out of dodge here. Yeah. Okay, well, what we're gonna do... yeah, I can't even run because I have too much instability. I'm gonna try and move up this way. Maybe not. We're in a little bit of trouble here, I will admit. Okay. Landed on 2 structure exposed, but not enough to take out either leg. And I think in a one-on-one fight, that excavator mech could probably beat our Hermes 2 at this point. That's a little worrisome. We're gonna have to move the UMR-90 back over. I'm not hoping to do the most damage with this. I want to slow him down to priority 5 from 6 to let our allies potentially shoot him before he gets a chance to do anything else to us. He's destroyed, but it's not his shooting that I'm worried about. It's another melee hit. That would really be what we have to watch out for. Okay, turrets and the Huron should be... Okay, yep, Gauss rifle come in. Left torso destroyed, backhoe destroyed. Bleeding out. Panic eject. Okay, good. So our Hermes 2 is saved, thanks to our allies' wonderful shooting there. And should be time to bring the Dervish online. Not the best shot possible, but we can boost it up with that precision strike that we've been saving. There is a new pilot in here, Viper, because Max is out for pilot injuries. And I like that name, so we're probably going to be bringing Viper along when we have 6 slots, or when we need a replacement generally, before we have 6 mechs that we can deploy. Okay, Blackjack Omni moving but not doing anything. Unfortunate. Reserve down to 5. There's that turret firing in, left arm down off the hunchback, very nice. And I think we're very nearly done here. 1 or 2 more turns. Should be able... Oh, this is our last turn. Wow. Okay, well we might not be able to kill the bombard then. That's alright. It means actually less salvage in the salvage pool, which considering I want those enforcer pieces, that could be worse. So the bombard has moved, yes, which means that I can take this otherwise risky, very little evasion move with the Ruby Lamb. See if we can clear out the punchback. Yep. Ammunition explosion, it's mech down, only the bombard left. If we're very lucky, we might get a kill on it, but I doubt it. We have to get a head cap with the Marauder at this point. Which I don't even have a shot, so... Alright. That's fine, that's fine. Avatar loading in a couple missiles. That went really quickly for 10 turns. Alright, well hang around, I'll show you guys the salvage screen in just a moment. Mission successful. Okay, so we did get all of those nice payment increases. Let's see, 40, 50, 60% increase, but since I took this for the salvage, oh man, I feel like a bit of a fool. I could have taken that for 1.6 million C-bills, which would have gotten plus 60% tacked onto it. That would have been a very nice payout. Local power organization is now down a reputation to disliked. That will hurt us if we do discover the black market. But we are nearly... Well, not nearly, but we're getting closer to allied with the Free Worlds League, so that would be nice to get at their faction store. The Hermes 2 did take enough damage to need a refit. A little unfortunate. Okay, so now here's the fun part. Let's take a look. 3 Centurion parts, Blackjack PA, 5 Enforcer parts, and the 4 AS. Let's see, 3050's update. More standoff power, as well as fixing the Max Chronicle ammunition. 200 rated XL engine. AC-10, 2 tons of ammo, extended range large laser. Yeah, that would be very capable. We have more than enough to get an excavator mech. So there were 2 of them on the field, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total pieces of salvage here. That's our highest odds new chassis. But I don't really want it. RL-20s are just not good. Medium rifle is not good. This thing would have 1 alpha strike per mission, which, with our accuracy, is not exactly useful. We could get a bunch of medium lasers, but I don't think that's worth going for over the chance at the Enforcer. Yeah, okay, nothing that I want here more than the Enforcer, but it's worth taking a look always. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Fingers crossed we get the 5th. Let's see, 2 Centurion pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, only 4. Not enough to get a new chassis. Well, we'll keep an eye out for other enforcers, and if we can get even a single other part, then we can put this mech up on the field. Okay, otherwise... Okay, we did pick up the RL-20s, not that they're going to get put to use. 4 cases is pretty nice. Cases? Case? No. Um, Prevents ammunition explosions, so that is some nice defensive gear. Alright, that's all for right now. Thank you guys for hanging around. We'll see you again real soon.